wa makwan me antete wa asase we ya ye wumi no yentime ntete wo da oya bone ne wanya obi anka ntime nsesa na nya obi aso na ye ka obone ya kire wo ka ne dede te say Yesu obenya obi a o te say Captain Smarter benya obi a o te say Ivan o de brofo be ka obone na kire wo na wo kono ye de twi kire wase a undidi biom me aminu penny the one and only independent presidential candidate Kofi Krantin wa Kofi morning
Captain
Bibi Aboko
ye mamuna yako
Joso
onua family any media general minim say you've built a great relationship with Yenua Bia order for me. Inti yema ebusua adofo namfo ene media general food na and especially captain who show you so. Nyankufa mo fai ni ayebhu no na yefe. Inti Yenua Bia no so onyankopon so no no mfa no into yemaye. Na wuni de yaw in fact make a cry was seeing gum so nya ye denga ni e be wiase se e be ye uti wiase bibia ye come na all of a sudden in a flicker na all is lost inti yesre baby paman Ivan minim say Captain
Ivan
Captain
Akwaba
yeah bon I mentioned what
T4
I think that this morning the Ghana phone him I think that this is a woman full of life Dr. Grace Bodua my bahaba to no and I've seen Mahuno on several platforms a woman are full of life all of a sudden but that's sorry not such an incident that happened no I think I hope but obending we say obi wana wa otiase we dey too hofo and I think that is what we can say na abusuafo no say momo shedin yeah
and then officer can was
oh and I think that me say ECOWAS issue or na your friend is a flag yeah primary see omo eto ye weekend so sika chene as for account
me
Captain I think that ECOWAS you better on several occasions I can't asem how or more loose grip on the continent and member states na nkasa have come to the realization say the body is a useless body omuntime rely on ECOWAS for anything because the agenda yeah the set up the purpose ni nasefo a omo set up by the forefathers ni nyina na Mali Burkina Faso ni Niger culture say omo betray those fundamentals those principles na ekokofade by because the kind of economic cooperation regional integration and that kind of saying cooperation among member states say be betimi dey promote trade yeah ensure political stability yeah ensure say ade ekochen a this is a mother body that cares about the welfare of member states. Yabetinum and making sure that this body abaya white elephant they see her condoning all sort of nasty stuff. And then these countries have come to the realization say ECOWAS no longer serve the purpose or muy free say serve. That is why these things are happening because you ask yourself say Samra coup no shase na ekoso circumstances are leading to the coup no proud no na ECOWAS as a mother body had every opportunity to intervene and on several platforms SCO Togo ye can say something had to be done sabe betimi save the situation but yet ha na Cote d'Ivoire ala ye friend say Alassane Ouattara ye nyina ye nim circumstances are leading ya papa we be president ni moja hwegu a ekoso e wo Cote d'Ivoire waba be the president we na we try to turn a rear this guy had the infantry to massage the constitution and he first gave himself another lifeline ECOWAS and kashi amfa ho nothing was done about the situation then another coup SCO baby yes my delegation not such a joker was part of the delegation say yanko kanche domboy I say coup na why no on reverse it when this guy has engaged in what we call constitutional your friend is saying coup d'etat against the people of Cote d'Ivoire so at the end of the day leverage bang and ECOWAS already coming on board And over the years, we call the Sahel region, the incursion of this, your friends, mercenary groups, other insurgent group, ECOWAS Masabi, place in a very hostile peace anyhow. So the understanding is ECOWAS better mobilize certain forces and certain intervention be abwa. Ama yet me akebu the situation a creepy in. Nina, the mother body has been sitting aloof, doing nothing about it. And you can't about the kind of rank ECOWAS between French-speaking countries and your friends France and Kasa. In the face of the ECOWAS, at the end ECOWAS AFR home, ye ni mamam for Martina Kunyaso for almost 40 years in Africa. Omo nim say near man circumstances and nipa no namu no eyade asabi enkoye. As a mother body, your job is to intercede on the behalf of the people. So if you're able what now to say responsibilities when you know go what check all these responsibilities in you go at the end of the day no so nim fa so biem. That is why these countries now have come to the realization say being part of ECOWAS or not being part of ECOWAS no e dey yan benefit be na wo. Because so other countries like US and as for impose sanctions on you, you know, so within the community of world affairs, you know, over suffer. But ask yourself, say, what is the economic power of ECOWAS? ECOWAS better make us say, my impose economic sanctions on anybody. Even in Africa, in West Africa, trade among ourselves. How effective said the city here? Because train every Ghana ha ain't me and time to Cote d'Ivoire because train said they see building railway no ha no and Diane said the Cote d'Ivoire building it there and Diane said the Togo see building it there so we can't even use train to enter our African countries, you know. So it is very easy to trade with China, with European partners, with America. It's so easy than say you trading among ourselves. So you ask yourself, say ECOWAS now buy for economic cooperation, for regional integration, no, as some fast one is saying. So, how to live in the usefulness, I will lose in the essence. As I buy a package of old guys, I said, we will committee, I'm a catcher, so we a mistake. Now, for be back and I'll be a manure gumet and pharmacy shop because I'm cocra phone quan said you'll be a yare and I'm a quantanasi and I'm more air about old age issues, then as a form pertinent issues affecting the continent where you expect people to have come to the realization, say, Africa. So, baby, a advantage no other continent in the world and they will be when it comes to human resource, natural resources and as for how do we tap into these resources at least you bet me a leverage for economic transformation. The youth of Africa or move away from the continent move go into your fancy modern day slavery in the Middle East. Now no miss your shows videos Ghanaian ladies in your fancy Egypt. Now Egypt you cry transfer. And you see people going to Middle East. Middle East, you compare them aside slavery, there is nothing there. So people go and sell themselves into modern day slavery. When we have a much potential where you land yet metabe now you created those opportunities now. People will rather be coming here, sabe or mobenya access to the kind of wealth or Africa. But and I'm saying and Africa has become a harvesting ground for the world powers. And now China is here. If you go to DR Congo, the Tenki mines, one of them. Your friend say biggest cobalt. Your friend is saying mine Africa. Among China gingen in Tokwa and easy and several other goods Africa higher. Ngrofo we take it over. Ghana na yanya dia sebi yansu akwakoton betin high. So adwin ya de dwin ekase me take a peep into the future. Now I draw my plans in such a way say make me leverage a tab into the talents and the potential say na sabi matimia build something substantial out of them. No leadership in our part of the world no is never interested in all these things. So I know that the youth have become desperate, they are useless and there is nothing that they feel say they can do. They feel useless within them because there is absolutely nothing for them. That is why I'm for person over to coin none of my than to sit here. So to me ECOWAS and one else will blame no. So a person taking it serious, they need to rebrand and repackage themselves because where they are at the moment, you know, say a country belong to ECOWAS or you don't belong to ECOWAS, you know, difference behind because ECOWAS ain't coming with any advantage. They are celebrating days, then as a forum. But what actually they are doing on the grounds on Africa, Africans are benefiting. You know, say yes, this is the real impact of ECOWAS. You know, we are not seeing those things. So at the end of the day, you know, countries come to the realization there. Also, name fast so I captured because for people to come to the table, you need to have a leverage. You need to have certain advantage. So if I'm coming to the table and there is nothing that you are offering me, because ECOWAS should be so attractive to the stance there, member states should, your friends say, fight for its membership. but abaya condoning grants for all sort of nasty and shitty political stuff. Man for me, amend the constitution, give themselves lifeline. They still proud themselves of member of ECOWAS. Man for me engaging or all sort of your friends reckless activity. Anti Kroma na Gambia, Ghana for Eko Monen as a forum. Sa story ne koko si saying. Besin families or munkro for your victims. Guano, omuntimi account for. Ya boni pato in the broad day. I'm a man for Babon Tibe converse here. ECOWAS couldn't do a thing about it. So to me, if these countries are moving out, it's because ECOWAS are losing the essence, are losing the way. But yeah, mistake. Say you co-partner with a certain foreign interest, and that one will solve our problems. But who say some of these countries, are trying to build certain alliance with Russia and other countries? You see, those foreign interests, they almost Ghana interest at heart. This emerging and as Africa interest at heart. Me say China on the foreign policy are ordinam a very aggressive and very hostile policy of exploitation and ordinam on a team alone or be mouse high phone one or shall say Japade on fan chow. That is the kind of policy. And Russia, the SS is even people, countries around them. Abra, Belenwo Nubu, a country in the Eastern Europe, and we are part of Soviet Union, and be a journey away from Russia. So these are countries you cannot rely on them and say, we are breaking away from this and we are going to join this. They will come and exploit us. That is what we need to realize. Say, how can we take another step? Now you realize the potentials on the continent. Now you realize the human resources are here. Now you turn those things into something productive. I am crow for Benya Bibia. Now say answer ye be general how among ourselves. You bet me open market trade among ourselves. Quite bet me trade among ourselves. I am crow for Benya some faso because that is the ultimate thing that we need to focus on. Now nkwaya now to when you share Niger. Now no menam in term baby captain. About 21-year-old boy. Sa ade na ye pia se ye de etoto na ade no and we pia sa na wakode baby wa bre. This is a 21-year-old African boy wakra na mama ne papa from Mali aba Ghana and also etoto na ade akrakete etoto na ade de akwa. But this is a continent filthy rich. Among for proud you said to me, just a life among for live on the continent leadership. Now the life, the misery these poor boys are going through. You don't see them, but sometimes just take time and look at them. There is no future, absolutely nothing for them. This is the kind of continent I have. So ECOWAS Kotenasia, the focus should be about strategically, you better build that kind of relationship, build it. Youth no sebe ya umbenya life, but we are not interested. So me ECOWAS there a useless body full of old men and women they just talk about their dying age na say for nothing sensible in their course because so the continent lies bare right in front of us and the number of coups I see in the last 3 years. Ask yourself, say ECOWAS up to the task and coup in the coming days, don't be surprised if a lot of these coups will spring up because near man coup within the continent, and nobody is stepping up to intervene. So they were amassing troops to go and attack them. Okay, Tinubu and such an old man saw a president. Because look at him, somebody who cannot even walk on his own. And this person is a president. So what decision I know take he manage a man or he can't bath himself. Now president will be the guy. How can you take decisions very serious? So I think on the continent we really have to be serious. Now you move away from these trivialities. I also say, am I young name down? And yes, sir, Captain, we will continue to suffer.
Now, baby, I way well we know visually. You were Jubilee House, se Flagstaff House, and Chengpe near war. Inti imagine Jubilee House. Imagine baby a Jubilee House war. Now kwa kopem 37. Now kukusi Legon. Now kusi Medina Adenta Oyarfa. Now beko eyimensa. Now before popo no na wako abri no we sanga go through towns ni na atwam mampong nom ni ade wako fetutu ako Manfe ubedu akropon ubekwa briw ubekọ dewu monhwe kwan no na wo de be fa dewu ase asan besi koforidua fiti Jubilee House won atrɛ mu 200 meters in width na won asi dan 500 meters high, just say almost 60 stories. Dang bako. Munti da mekan. Dang bako. Wonge si fiti Flagstaff House. Koka 37 ko yarefa. Kofa ekuya peme kroni na so. Kosi dewu sang besi koforidua ni na ye dang bako. A year 200 meters wide, 500 meters high. What Freddie said the line was Saudi Arabia. Worisi, meno ka say worisi. Abusiafo, down no car nkom. Obia utimu bia hospitals wom, shopping malls wom, hotels wom, residences wom, parks wom. Water bodies womb schools universities just say walk 1 mile bia you crow 106 miles 170 kilometers near make kura in 170 kilometers down back 60 stories high one year 50 Flagstaff House kofa oyarefa kofa kua pema besi koforbia da soko one building. Fast trains, bullet trains na nemu. Inti wu nemu a wunhia car. Pollution free.
Umpie nko baabi a.
Wunhia se obekọ baabi a captain. Se hospital cinema so, upesa opo soccer ayi amphitheaters. Then na wo hwehwe wiase mu bribia no wo dan ba kunum. Wo fani see the line. Accra to Kumasi, enye 1 story, enye 2 story, enye 3 story, eye kakwanga eda fem. Accra to Kumasi, 32 years into me 32 years into me Uko Dubai. Wanga tase abo ne dote 70,000 tons of rocks and sand. Wadi egupum insu ewo waves. Wadi egupum. Na wadi stilts esisim. No wadi see a whole island. I will friendly say Palm Jumeirah Island. In less than 6 years. There were 275 parliamentarians. You were an executive. You were ministers. Wofi sa term ya see over 127. You were ministers at the presidency. You were judiciary. You were all the advisors. Cathedral no onyankopon wo hye onyankopon bo no won ntumi anwie onyankopon kura won aye no 419
na wo vote
na wo out vote
abusuafo sankrofo ye se monsangin vote ma won bio na won mmra opanyin mahama offer 9 billion cedis. No, they buy 122 billion cedis. Statistical increase of 1,255%. Over 122 now divided by 9. Na wunyaning. Enye Kofi Kranting a fact. Memenye propaganda. So, at the time, now the rate dollar to cedi to dollar no was on average about 3 kufori fiso nebani na dollar to cedi na 1.3 1.5 mebo obeka kirem For 6 years now, average about 3% CD to $1 no. We accumulate debt from 9 to 122 billion. So what for change, at 3 CDs to $1 now? And yet the worst we have ever seen. In 2014, incidentally, the GDP tanked 20% in Ghana. It's never happened. I never knew that. 20%. Onipa otumi jina ho no saw no say yentio bia na mo. Ghanaians they forget very easily. Onipa aka ne 8 days no wafie kunwa so. No. Otumi the concession of bauxite mane brother 8 days no wafie kunwa so. Wunim say ye illegal e your man bi so a anka wo dem. O say the new referee bia na Ghana for the young referee adinti monsan fa ne mra bio. Hweba humia. Se mu didi wie na mo toileta, se mu bedware enya saa. Ni perisi eyi wo fa ni say the line. Kona kohwe. Kohwe adi a wori ye wo Saudi Arabia. Wo fra baby medulla. Wo fra baby wo friending Sebella. Kohenia waye wosisi adan ni hotels. Futuristic hotels wo rocks mu. Major. Na Ivan Reke minam kwanso na mi hu Ghana ni a na me wra ho because hu Ghana ni a o kira o say orebre aden na Ghana for young experience in life, a life that has to be excellent. And sisa anka Ghana ni krampo de anka yemu pi ni ye adwuma ni yatena wiase. Because with the resources aye wo no, say ye wo leaders a wo dwene yen ho wo nimudie a esesa anka hoho no wo be ye adwuma wa ha. Nanka young boys see and yen say wokura cameras a one nam hey wo wade pa bi ye adwuma a woye eye pensioners adwuma young boys oh mo de anka mo jet ski by now am mo apartments ya titinom and yen say mo titi ha no ma de bia wo de mo ye ayi wo ha yo de bi you are at the prime of your life. Hey, let me tell you something. Artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, cellular intelligence in T. The world, we are seeing now, on the start line. We are seeing now, Obia or can otherwise show no nim no can. Africa, near what edge? Because 66% of young youth now, what be utilized, energy here men working the youth intina say we are seeing through Africa no worry tore yen ase na yenim na sankrofo ya wo from ECOWAS impanyimfo wonim na erekoso a anka conference a wo ye no worry ye say wo be ma yen nia wo freni say intangibles then ni intangibles intangible qualities no na emma omang your man and say onipa wo do wo nua nipa wo respect wo nua nipa wo man regard wo benefits ma won a ye adwumen say wo metena ha no wo de 1,000 cedis a month what ti hanom no wonya 10-15,000 cedis a month no wo won apartments one cars a papa bi na akra no pe car because mass transit system ye juma wo babia every corner of the country ye mass transit system captain ehu hia so wo SUVs de bi onam hiri baby okobia otena subway mu a otumi kotena coach otumi kotena first class wo subway mu we ne TB no nom ye ni mass transit system Mr. Bahumia efe de wo se wo de trotro any public transportation obey an electric I thought say na anu ya na mo de young lithium mo de mine na nti mo wa adwene say mo ba be ye mass transit system electric dia den na mo sign away young lithium parliamentarians nti mo dwene Ghana fo ho mo dwene Ghana fo ho say me walk into 37 say na me pet surgical procedure ne menya na young boys a egu kolebu dialysis ni ho na wo brain wo wu no wo to wongu nipa na ye ba be hand over ye baton ama won no wo be take over oman no say ye de wan ye sankwas wo Ghana prese na kwabra ne bre wo Ghana emia egu Ghana mihu mia egu Ghana obia bia so ade woni ti so to be able to live ebede no watumi edufie no akohwe ne ba na ni kunu ba no do fa ai bia one na kasa wanya bra ma ni kunu wanya bra ma ne ma emia na esese watchichi society no wode won aye head carriers a wonam obia bia onam krom bia so ade woni ti so. Is this how to build a nation? Abusua fo me bisa mo NPP fo ne NDC fo amuse mu kovotu ama won no inti ade nye yen fe se mofra na magboblosi no wo show computer parts na wonya asthma no wonya upper respiratory infections no wowu emfa yen ho mofra na mkwa ho won hyempaboa won ho fi da bosomi wonware ye woni nsu no wonom kra wonya na wanya bi aguare komokola na on me anko kasa wo ho na bisa won say that na you had a full warm bath on tea bi kra da say nsu kra no eba no nsu ohyew no wodi aguare bisa nipa ewo Ghana wonom vitamins won tea bi da nipa wonya aduan padi niama wa fa no to say standard of living eye basic wa buruchiri obia mineralizing a body or your exercise or what quality of life for Emma. We just say, what nation are we building? Ye ni housing, boys did the kiosk mu. One ko university, one ko university what the kiosk mu. Hawkers nam kwan ho, what da kwan ho ko circle. What is this? Is this what we want ana? Ebusiafo, me dear how me. We have no respect for life. Intangibles now make canon to say. Where akramanga wanam kwan ho kra wu one life a. Who say nobody cares for animals, living things. We are not coexisting with our environment. Medisani amana how me because ye nipa dia. Say young environment now ye protect. Because when I'm protecting environment now, the environment will not take care of you. Now ye an endangered species hero gradually no we are fading away. And it bothers me say nipa ya phone say won hwe we so no they not thinking about it. Niama wadwene hu na ye the tangibles. Tangibles is not what makes a nation. Intangibles is what makes a nation. Foreign direct investment a what say be krom he na no obroni ano obi de ni sika bebo man mu a e wona young intangibles ne kire. That's the respect wonam krom na e ho ye kwam ba bia wonam wo Ghana bia agota wo bia hobon ade be chen wo se nkrofo so kroaba no wo hwie niam fi kroaba no mu toilet mu because ye ni sewer systems. And so yet to $120,000 V8 my young ministers then how young abusiafo it is a make of grant my president now. This is how we going to change Ghana. Niama 10 it starts with housing. As I say obienya baby pada inframa pafa no ho no to me adwene pa na oye a better valued product to humanity and ni society. As I say obienya healthcare. As I say obienya adwuma ye unya adwuma nya we should have more income coming in from inyume ekoso to take care of you. Poverty line no obi oye below poverty line. As I say ye na ye sika na ye de hwe won na nipa abobo adam ne nam ne na ye yi won fio ne de won gu ba bi ne ye gware won ne ma won aduan di wo ye nipa won abobo adam krampo a wo ye nipa hwe nipa nam kwan ho ubedu elwak na won etetete ball race so na direct traffic light nye aduma baby what a disgrace. Is this how we want to live our lives? I'm embarrassed. Me na me catch them say I am embarrassed because you will prepare to build an excellent society. But without the right leadership, no, we can never build an excellent society. And this leadership, NDC, NPP, no, they have failed us and we have to retire them. As I say, you build Ghana 2024. The youth in America actually say, "Mama, ya build Ghana. Near kofasa uncle fuisa babio. Na hwese na nwi wo chesika. Wodi obi tumi ko gina ho kwabrani ko gina ho tumi kese. Hwe me di sika me di aba 500,000 oyi kire. Hey Ghana. Aya me wonwampo, aya me nimguase. Se obi pe election. Oni nimdie ese odi bu oman nanso tumi ko yi sika gu table so say me di say sika ya banti won chema manfo no vote mam police ni friend adenti oman ban ye pese ye bui mum ye hwe ye mai ye youth mum ye invest in our youth abusiafo mum ye invest in our youth me ye president ne national cathedral no me convert national cathedral no is going to be a hub to say no Silicon Valley. Nipa nko ho no wonfa wadwene nko ye adwuma wonye exposed wonya access to supercomputers no wonfa develop niama enunti ni abawiase we want to have an excellent human experience yampese nipa nam kwan ho no wobre yampese nipa nam wonam kwan ho obi a hu no Ghana bia no has a measurable and favorable experience to tell adeng Ghana fo ya yamodeng Ghana for make the right decision. And let me see, Kofi Krantin for president. Me no, ma masa me pese me ye president. We are here to fix this problem. Obi, ya nyo bi ode ne nambe si breaks no so. No be stop breaks. Ne ekosu ya. We're going to continue to degenerate. Ghana problems no so why and you paying attention. Obi who say we're not getting any better. It's getting worse by the day. And more criminals are getting into the arena. And they're making it impossible for people like you and me, decent citizens, to live. We need to stop this menace.
Ghana.
Captain.
It's also back force.
I think the part of the process, I the DP democratic process. Sebeya, your friends say, you who say, you call your name, but Captain. There be as I had the snapshot on various platforms issues of corruption sometimes a bum and a turn to render everything that we do here useless as if say we are not going anywhere because you see this culture of monetization creeping into our body politics over the years, you know. We are hoping say at least baby ababe duru dia nkasabi nkeswati but unfortunately no afa na eguso a ekọ nanim afa na enyiri kọ nanim and first no this monetization na ekọ so in the dark under the cover of darkness oh ya kura usuro but a man for develop a certain energy via we do it in the open in the camera na man for you see the danger in all these things is that at the end of the day you know relegating people or more what it takes to lead people into the background and then give you the opportunity for certain individuals with whatever interest. Some may be criminals, some may be greedy men. These people come up fronting your politics, you know, making critical decisions for us. And at the end of the day, you know, we are not getting anywhere because Makato said you cannot move a country with fools. And consistently, we have designed a system that consistently grant political power to the unwise. And at the end of the day, when you want the 2 million or be a nyansa or you 2 million terrorize, and that is exactly what is playing. So until say they realize say this monetization, young first come away, may bribe away, get into our politics, you know, say you stop here, I'm telling you, we will not move anywhere.
Natural videos.
Yes, so because it's so nasty, and you see, the institutions are you see why you making sure that some of these things you you don't see, and the special prosecutor has given up because on one cause of fighting corruption. Why and with the Cecilia that the package was too good. So even the energy on his part to ensure that we confront issues like this, and in the part because of but the very people who brought him are the very people who are sharing money, and this culture of monetization, you know, it's not even in one political party, or spread it across all the political parties, and within the political parties, you know, you can't have any whip system dealing with the situation because from the top to down, Obi Obenya the position be paid their way through. Flag bearers are paying. Your friends saying party national executives are paying. Yes, the national executives are paying. The flag bearers are paying. So I know the day, you know, fine, and I want that moral conviction to look somebody in the face and say, "Oh, you stop with the corruption." Until such states even making earnest effort. So, Sanema way idea a boo of mine. As you fire name see for ma. Baby, we will never get there, and consistently, no, we'll be arming fools with political authority, with political power, and they will use that tend to terrorize us. So we as a people no must realize now with the 2 million manner, and you would that in our town because my say election is not an event; it's a process. I have long-term consequences. And this now with the 2 million in summer, you have no business complaining because nipa na talk right, and now make us say shop, no iPhone. Oto we now the coffee opa abawe nebo opa abato atwene because you've paid with your money. You don't have any business with nipa kro na to free in the hall. Sa na vote no tie say en auto vote no free ho we no kwa. The person is not accountable to you anymore. You can't ask the person for any development because sikana or the bribe no, they need to pay back. Some went for a loan. Obi oha benevolent your friends donors who will eventually come back for their money. They will give them the money. So say okwa parliament now the whole focus is to ensure say obetime your business and sika to go back and pay the donors and as maybe take money no then amass another money or to go into the next elections. So I know the day no, it's a cycle. Development yes people no and again the last time I was telling you, most of the constituencies now, MP no the constituency and the same people are lining up. Me kwaya wedding me ba we MP or constituency in the week we didn't have grab it to fundaka be 15 because obia de ne how about so another day the core duty and the core responsibility of these people to ensure say they weave policies and initiatives I bet me boy me transform your life I bet me boy me position on mine am on a certain edge am on a certain competitive advantage in this global world you know I bet me am I for better education healthcare and as a for captain so nema we nyina will be pushed into the periphery because it's a money your platform na your BA. So you're monetizing the whole space and now we need sika forget about politics. So at the end of the day, you know, what sika and our access. So nipa na what it takes a typical leadership qualities. Obetimi aba abaya nhihye amase sabi nipa assistant mbekono. Those people, no, we are substituting them for these guys with money. And at the end of the day, no, obi o woni sika no or sikanti na oba no ba that humanity at heart and this is the kind of leadership I yet home. And that is what the last time I was telling you say Ghana for no, nobody is a victim. Nobody is innocent. You know, we are complices and sponsors. Yes. No one is innocent. No one is innocent. Oh yeah, I'm different.
Anyway,
yes, nobody is an innocent. Captain, you know your accomplices because we won't even control physical control about man and expect say the miracle will happen. So, Captain, I think that we as a people, no, we need to be very reasonable and wake up from this slumber because we are very greedy people. We are part of what is happening. Sometimes we go out there and pretend say we are not part of it. Sometimes the only difference between here and your money say they are there and we are down here. So you get the opportunity to be there. We may even do the worst because that is the culture we have created for ourselves. And with some of the constituencies, I think that with our Dwasafua losing me, I think there's a consolation for BI because you see, your politics you need to mature, you need to grow. Whatever reason they lead, you know, man call outside the country for several years, you know. So we need explanation for Ghana for don't go on social media and be doing videos as if they will Ghana for and show political maturity. And I think that the people paid her in her own kind and she deserves it. And going forward, no, I want us to go on this particular trend. You see, now no for video be circulated or can send be or say what we share abontia. We are not for mobetime dim koma ye bibia but otina ko nwema enya dam for some that is how leadership is supposed to be say ye gyina nche na ye ka madam for na ye wo, but when it come to serious business ye te ho ye adwuma friendship bi ani ba bia. And I think that is what we need to focus on. Now you're making sure that we punish people, say we won't serve your interest. Let us put people out about the interest of the country at heart. Now you who say Sabi, Nipa na yedi to me more mono, and just because no one fair, not because o sikanti na yedi neighbor. But what happened in your friend say, wow, o constituency that things that Kennedy and a ma nimu no ko lusu ho. Your friend is a bantama. We go catch it, obi say ne maame eton abeti ne na sefo a in our can society you can't say such words and get away with it because obi a ne maame ton abeti a watimi ahwe ne ba ma na ba be chief of staff. You need to respect that abeti woman. You understand?
Sure.
So there are certain commenter we say we politics you need to mature, you need to grow. But you consistently, if we keep pushing these guys, Asabi or Panini Kasasa Akra, these are the very people you reward and give them political power. So ask yourself, that when we consistently reward these guys with political power now what's now expecting some miracle to happen? We need to wake up and realize young person changing the destiny of this particular country. Let us look for men are very empathetic towards people. Look, get to Accra, see the kind of misery, the kind of economic way at desperation man we go through. These people just don't care. Let us reward people as
Right,
Captain, it's mentioned youth of Ghana. You know, we a quick one. I'll pick up from maybe innocent say we are not victims, but we are accomplices. And I agree. Captain, so we share and then call a little biblical. Make me Bible school days. Okay, time I did Jesus kojina before the people. And I did Barabbas. No so jina and I say why you now choose. Now mind you, Barabbas was a stealer, he was a thief, he was a killer, he was a corrupt person. Now Jesus was the person who was working with the people every single day. I don't know, feeding 5,000 at one time, 4,000 at another time. This is the person who was healing the sick, giving people what they need to have a good life. But yet beside the same people no say, who should we release for you? No, almost say, give us Barabbas and kill Jesus. Ghanaians every single 7th December, every 4 years, we go to the same polling stations to elect the same people, Captain. Yeah, say they are corrupt, they steal our resources, they don't create the jobs, they don't build the hospitals, they don't build the roads. We are the very same people who blame these people for being corrupt. But Captain, every time we get the election mandates, we won't give it to these very same people. How are we victims here? Until you realize, Captain, the people have not changed. Even from biblical times to now, we are still towing the same line. And nothing is going to change until the people begin to do the right thing. Say, let us put truth where truth stands. And Captain said, oh, can you say you're Sebi? That's how it's supposed to be. So if you're speaking the truth, you say what it is and you do what it is. Captain, let me do this. We're just wrapping up quickly, but let me touch on the ECOWAS thing. Captain, is history repeating itself all over again? Now, so what's ECOWAS? The name itself is Economic Community of West African States. The first word there is economic. Captain, if you're going to be honest with ourselves, you ensure ever since the formation of the ECOWAS, not even AU will be another day, but ECOWAS, what has been the economic benefit to any single member of ECOWAS?
Heads of state and
apart from parties they've been going for, and in pictures, and no taking pictures. But what has been the economic benefits to the people? What have the people gained economically? America said since we joined the ECOWAS,
when they steal, they buy Kose and Masa
for them,
for the village boys.
And see, if some people have decided say where we want to take our country to, and yet the direction ECOWAS is going in, and we want to pull out, who is talking nonsense? Where? Who is saying what? Now, mind to them, let them remember, say, it was supposed to be an economic community where you promote trade amongst the countries in there. Captain, since you have passport and you're not flying, you want to use road, you find so much difficulty trying to enter Cote d'Ivoire or Togo. So far, plane there is okay because we know the kind of people who can fly in planes, but how many citizens in these countries can afford a plane ticket? And so they make it very difficult for us to even communicate with ourselves. Can you pick a phone today and call Ivory Coast? What will be the charges on it? You'll be surprised. So, for London and US, you have discount rates to call these countries, but to mean for Togo and Abidjan. Yes. You see, so
for Abidjan.
That's what I'm saying. I cheaper say for US and now UK. But you can't call your next door neighbor here and say, what is the use of ECOWAS? What is the benefit of ECOWAS to our people?
Meanwhile, Laika is everywhere in the whole of Europe. One network.
So, you see,
same charges. From Switzerland to France, from France to Italy, from Italy to wherever.
But Captain, a little backdrop as to the formation of ECOWAS. It started with in 28th September 1958. French president at that time, Charles de Gaulle, or say he gave them an option. Or say all the French colonies in Africa, 14 countries. Or say Omamu, 3 options. Either say you would not vote against, you vote against the constitutional referendum, and then you become completely autonomous. You'll be a free country. And now the second one is say you become part of France, and all the African countries in Africa will become departments of France. That's the second option. Third option, no, say you remain a part of, you have self-autonomy, but with defense ministry, with finance ministry, and these are key strategic ministries, no, about France.
And no natural resources.
And see 3 options, no, Ube choose the way. And you see, all of them were bad, but people said, okay, say, we'll be autonomous. Let's choose option 3, which is that we'll have our autonomy, we'll become independent, but our Ministry for Finance will be in France, our defense will be in France, our transportation and all those key sectors will be in France. That's what most people chose. But out of 14 countries, no, 2 countries said we are moving away from France completely. That was Mali and Guinea. And see, the dynamics of what is happening today, you see Guinea in there, you see Mali. What was started back then is what they are reviving today, and they are breaking away from ECOWAS itself. But you see, what the French did was very smart. Almost created a union. No? Almost say, oh, I know all African countries that are independent, so you can join. But you be part of the the European Economic Community, EEC. And see, from the so-called alliance of the 12 French countries, forming EEC, the European Economic Community. So you be part of the European economy. And so you are in Africa, but your economy is actually an appendage of Europe.
That's right.
From there, no, I'm changing. UAM. And the UAM almost is for every country. You don't have to be a French-speaking country. Even if you're an English country, you can still join. And they open up to the whole Africa. It is from that point, and now we had a blueprint for the formation of AU. But then the subsector was for the ECOWAS. And ECOWAS was a direct representative of the EEC within this bloc, because this is where most of the majority of the French colonies were. And see, if people understand how ECOWAS came to be, it was not something that was created, say, by Africans. No. It was a French organization that was built to mop up the French African countries, particularly in West Africa. But then they realized they have the opportunity to bring more countries in into EMBMU. And see, Captain, today, if Mali and Guinea are in there, but you're saying Burkina Faso and then Niger have decided to form a nucleus, and they're saying we don't want to be part of ECOWAS. ECOWAS should defend their position and say, when you became part of ECOWAS, this is what you've been able to achieve. This is what you've been able to get. There's easy passes between our borders. You can move to any country freely. We have transportation. Captain, we don't even have a train that's running from Accra to Abidjan.
What's that?
See, we don't even have...
Now, what Ghana was a free Abidjan? No, I can train.
And see, really, Captain, Ghana will definitely be a part of
it.
Yes.
And the Yenny quiet plane faso to set train.
But Captain, to wrap up, let me throw this warning out there. There's a new strategy I bought out. So I'll share Europe and America particularly. Everybody's getting ready for war. Sweden president are capturing the citizens because we are getting ready for war. Most other European countries are also doing the same thing. But Captain, you know the game here. In the few weeks to come, we better say UK, any US, or maybe army. Say anyone who is in Africa, particularly youth, who person join the army, no, come.
What's it?
Neighbor, me say.
Week away enemy.
In the coming weeks.
What maybe I say coming weeks.
No, sir. The policy has been passed.
But say more for officers, more for senior officers.
And I say
the way I Ghana. Post for any soldier for Kwabuche.
Yes. And I say in the coming weeks. In the coming weeks, you hear the announcement say if you want to join the US or the UK armies, come there, it's free. You just come and join the army. You know what's happening? UK, almost say young youth, they're getting ready for war. The youth in UK are saying they're not going to join anything. Same with US. And see, right now, what it means is
France. And
see, the young people in UK and America particularly, you've added France. Almost say right now they're not going to fight any war. They're not ready for war. And see, they have a short number for the army. And see, they're going to open up free recruitment. Me say, last week I told the youth of Ghana, I said, no, Captain, hold on. No, Captain. Instead of going to die, Captain, let us take back our country and fix it. No, Captain, hold on.
I don't want to die.
Captain, make an assembly. So I'll share Canada. I said this last week.
Okay.
If everybody in Canada was running away from Canada, say, yeah, call baby for CC Hono, and who will build Canada? Who will person call Canada Hono? who would have gone there?
But Canada president not doing.
So I'm coming. Who selects the president in Ghana? And yeah, youth, 60% of youth. You got two line 2020 elections, and I had two man, the one who sits on this seat right now. And he said, yeah, bro, who do we blame? The youth. We say 60% of the voter population are youth, and we are the ones who elect our president. And see, instead of running away, let us get together and fix a country.
And Chekra.
Yes, Captain. So I'm saying, Mama Meninda, they will give you free visa to come and join the armies in Europe and America. They say, because Captain Meba, let me give this one first.
Look at me, let me tell you something.
Captain, but you let me give this one in first.
Let me say this before you continue.
Captain,
with all due respect to you, bro.
Right.
If it is opened next year,
yes,
within 1 day,
yes,
1 million applications will get to the US and the UK embassy.
I know, and I'm telling you
why. You know why? The youth of this country know be too kwanyako.
Right.
I wish they stay with us to build this country.
Right.
But ni, yase was sorry anopa.
Yes.
Ne komodem.
I know. Cause
people would love to die at a very decent place than to die in hunger.
So I'll say this again. Everyone who is willing and ready to die, let us die to fix the country. Because social you're gonna flag, no, the first color at the top is red. Because some people said, yeah, in America. Social national flag, no, the first color at the top is red. Now, that red, no, is because some people said, yeah, in America, yeah, in UK, Debbie, yeah, but if we need, we will die to build this country. That is why you and I can call ourselves Ghanaians today. And see, if any youth of Ghana are ready to pick a plane and go and die in some foolish war somewhere, which they have no part of, we should rather stay here and commit our blood to building this country. So we can also say to our children who are coming, say, no, Captain, I'm coming. You see, Captain, I've said this again. The first step we can take this is leadership. Let us stop putting, like Innocent said, let us stop putting those fools up in those positions. Let us put the right people who can do something for this country. And I'm saying, Captain, some join this army, I am telling them for a fact. The UK soldiers will not be put in the front line. The citizens of America and UK will not be put where don't put their people there because the people don't even want to go. And that's where they will put our people. And I'm telling you, Captain, the youth of Ghana today, they're in training on more. Boy Scouts, Kobe. So what criteria are they going to use? They're just going to be used as fodder. And I'm saying if they are ready to die, to lay their lives down, anytime they prefer demonstrations, because people are afraid, say police will bomb you. So if right now you are ready, that you are willing to die for your country, when we are taking actions to build this country, don't sit at home. That's if you are ready to die for someone who you don't have nothing to do about. Me say, so Tommy, you may be surprised that don't pay your family taxes. Let me remind them, after Second World War, in fact, during Second World War, Ghana soldiers they call UK to go and defend UK. They came back, they never paid them. It's what they said, 28 February. Certain old soldiers be called castle. Some called allowance, no salaries, and they were shot. Those are people who went to fight for Britain in the Second World War. Me say during the Second World War, Ghana soldiers particularly, a lot of them to go and fight in UK to defend Britain. After the war, no, benefits they want to go Ghana. 28 February 1948, the routes no buy no. They marched those soldiers for Britain. No. They marched to the castle, say demand salaries, no more allowances. What happened? The British governor there instructed say that is what led to the 1948 routes, and that's what helped us gain our independence. When they opened the invitation, said come and fight, learn what has happened to our ancestors before. These people will not pay you because they don't have the money. They will send you off to your death, go and die foolish deaths. And when you come back even trying to defend or demand for your compensation, you're not going to get them because history has showed us how these people operate. And to the youth of Ghana, I am saying, sir, if right now what decide, sir, you are willing to lay your lives down to have better living conditions, you want to lay your lives down for some people to have what they are enjoying, I am saying, sir, this is the time we can use that same energy to rebuild Ghana. It starts with first reclaiming our leadership. Do not follow all those who have proven to us that they don't have the best interest of Ghana at heart. Let us find amongst ourselves, let's raise competent leadership that has vision to be able to carry Ghana and in fact, the whole region into the future. So, Captain, again, in the coming weeks ahead, Mobete said they've opened recruitment for the UK armies, the US armies, and most European armies. I am telling you, don't think, say, oh, Kwako Jiweni, and now you're getting free visa to go and start building your life there. It is war you're going to be shipped onto, and you're not ready to go and die for someone else. Let us build Ghana. Thank you, Captain.
Beautiful presentation, but I want them to go.
You see,
you know why?
History vindicates me every time.
No, I'm not saying you'll not be vindicated.
So before the first time I sat here, I told you, sir, this court will not be able to prosecute nobody.
No. Second, I have there. Yenim say, said the way you made the year, you know. Sanu be a dear bay. Cecilia, the yenim dada.
Right.
But ni say baby are your way. When you're in nursing training, you become useless. The only country under the sun, a medical doctor tifie 5 years, yimposting only stage na okoye adwuma. Meanwhile, there are several hospitals across the country. Senior man neti hey, womu here medical doctors, womu here dentists, womu here BBA, womu license ni wua. Now wako medical and dental council. Now wako cultural exam. No renew. No they are better na fee. And kuta master's degree actuarial science or the year bones you obi kuta master's degree in biochemistry or the tenema shop or bakola. What I say? These guys, if you ask them to stay, they will listen, they will hear you talk, but they will never listen.
But I'll say it, I'll sound it.
No, I'm not saying don't say it.
Who said Noah? Kept sounding the warning, said what we need to
do, no, what we need
get
to
on
do
the
now,
ark.
What we need
People
to do
didn't
now,
mind.
What we need to do now is not whether someone should leave Ghana or not to leave. Because already, you know, your occasion you are doing one. We are here, Kwabruchene Kwasa, we are Ghana a cemetery. Number two, we go school Ghana, wako school phone, ma obi banfia bruchimra, ni nkase ono no wako school papa. Number three, kaftani ya yeshe wo krum hanin tade ya ye pam enye papa. Adwene ne say the brunia pam from Turkey. Akwatani na pam ye bre ye no, eno na ye papa. Eti already ye bie ye space nim. Eti enkroma ba ye no. Then no ye. Enye fake one district one factory.
Thank you.
Match factory. Ewo kede.
Bonsa tire factory.
Then call Bonsa. We went to the tire factory together, yes. And then the rubber factories yes. Together. These are the things Nkrumah did. Then he had the authority to say that don't travel.
Yes. One question.
Stay, Obeba. Stay, let's build the country.
Yes. So who put Nkrumah in that position?
No, Beba. What a train.
No, it was Ghanaians that put Nkrumah in that position.
I'm building a point.
Right.
But say ya ye kase no.
Yes.
Obi accommodate until yansa masio.
Right.
Se komo didipa. Wo de kawiase mu yansa mu nyina kire no. Or you weak. Even when you are going to build, that guy can't go with you. Media. And yes, obi beko anase obi nko. See every youth in this country peduma.
Yes.
Obey no be survive.
So should I jump in there? You see, Captain, that's why you mentioned Nkrumah. I'm saying before Nkrumah was able to do all of these things, no, Ghanaians, na saw Nkrumah side and I said, be the leader for this country. We put Nkrumah in that seat. If we Ghanaians decide today, say we don't want what is happening right now with our leadership, we can change it. I mentioned this, the vote of no confidence. Why are we not having that conversation?
Mamo.
No, hold on, Captain, I'm saying.
Nkrumah.
Captain, I'm coming. I am saying, sir, in the power to change our destinies lies in the hands of the youth. Because we are 60% of the voter population. So I'm saying, sir, Captain, when Lee Kuan Yew came to Singapore, 65, now we are at the check, Singapore. Ghana yenya independence in 57. But in 65, no, not Singapore, we are at the check,
the economy cry,
but yes, Japan, but a president, a man came from the UK who was a Singaporean and said, no, enough of this nonsense. Your friend Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew reached out to the people and they said, yes,
he went to UK. He was
a teacher there, yes. He was a teacher there, yes. But he came back.
So let them go and come back.
Captain, at what time? We can fix this.
Captain,
with leadership.
Captain, we
can fix this.
We need a sense of purpose. Your positive energy. So when you have a purpose, then that energy will be directed towards that particular purpose.
Right.
So as we sit, if there is a veil of desperation, that particular purpose and opportunity, but I said that captaincy can because there is a vacuum here.
Yes.
Because there are no opportunities. we will wish people don't go, but people will go because that purpose now, or no, there is no purpose. So energy will rather tend to become negative energy. You invest in evil stuff.
No,
No,
but I was making a point then. No, hold on. Your argument you're pushing right now, so I'm saying, yes, that is the problem. But how will we fix it? And I'm giving you examples, say, in certain countries which were worse than Ghana today, or Mali, and how did they do it? And I'm saying, say, once you find leadership, everything else revolves around leadership, and that's how we can fix it. But if we are saying, say, we'll go and vote for these people, then when the things get bad, we'll run away. They don't vote.
Why in Tobago?
You've asked a very good question. You see, one of the problems we had is most of the time, Nipa. No, Kofi, I'm not endorsing Kofi just yet. No, but what I'm saying is, when someone puts himself out on the people, say Muntu Mameno, that's when you find the kind of leadership we're having today. How do we find good leadership? Find those who are building the structures together with the people. That's how you know good leadership. And any Nipa or shot a nice or can't buffer the no. And you know any leader. No. Look at what the person does. That is why when these people are trying to deceive the people, no. Say a minister who has never gone
vote for.
Stay tuned, is coming.